The moon hung low in the midnight sky, casting eerie shadows on the decaying facade of the St. Agnes Asylum. The asylum had been abandoned for decades, its Gothic architecture and once imposing gates now a haunting reminder of a bygone era. Most residents of the nearby town avoided the place like the plague, believing it to be cursed, but one person dared to defy the legends. Sarah was a journalist with a taste for the macabre. She had heard countless stories about the asylum, of patients lost to madness, of cruel treatments, and of the asylum's sudden closure in the 1950s. Sarah was drawn to the place like a moth to a flame, and she had decided to investigate the truth behind the asylum's dark history. On this particular night, she parked her car a discreet distance from the crumbling entrance and slipped through a hole in the fence. Armed with a flashlight and her unwavering determination, Sarah ventured inside. The air was thick with silence, broken only by the occasional scuttling of rats. She entered the asylum's main hall, her flashlight revealing broken furniture and shattered glass. The walls were adorned with faded, peeling wallpaper, and the grand chandelier overhead was covered in cobwebs. As she explored further, she couldn't help but feel a sense of unease, as if the very walls were whispering secrets long buried. Sarah descended into the bowels of the asylum, where the treatment rooms lay hidden in darkness. In one room, she found a rusted operating table and instruments that had not been touched in decades. She shuddered at the thought of the horrors that had taken place within those walls. As she continued her exploration, Sarah discovered a hidden staircase leading to the underground tunnels. These tunnels had once been used to transport supplies, and rumor had it, to conduct inhumane experiments. Sarah's heart raced as she descended into the abyss, her flashlight revealing walls covered in the desperate etchings of former patients. The tunnels seemed to stretch on endlessly, their oppressive darkness pressing in from all sides. Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that she was being watched, that the asylum's tormented souls still lingered, trapped in their own personal purgatory. At the end of one particularly long tunnel, Sarah stumbled upon a door that led to a forgotten part of the asylum. Inside, she discovered a room filled with rows of patient files, dusty and forgotten. Each file contained a story of despair, of lives shattered by illness and mistreatment. Sarah realized that these records were a goldmine of information, a testament to the asylum's grim past. As she pored over the files, Sarah couldn't help but notice a recurring name, Dr. Nathaniel Hawthorne. He was listed as the head physician, but his notes spoke of cruel experiments and treatments that defied all ethics. It was clear that Dr. Hawthorne had been at the heart of the asylum's darkness. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah continued her investigation. She followed a narrow corridor that led to the asylum's old chapel. The room was filled with decaying pews, and at the altar, she saw a faded painting of a serene-looking nun. A chill ran down her spine as she realized that the figure in the painting bore a striking resemblance to a woman she had seen in the patient records, a woman named Sister Agnes. It was said that Sister Agnes had once been a beacon of hope for the patients, offering solace and kindness in a place of despair. But the records revealed a different story. Sister Agnes had been a patient herself, wrongly accused of madness and subjected to the same brutal treatments as the others. Sarah's investigation had uncovered a horrifying truth. The asylum's closure had not been due to a lack of funds, as the official record stated, but rather a cover-up of unspeakable atrocities. Dr. Hawthorne had been using the asylum as his personal laboratory, conducting gruesome experiments on the vulnerable. Haunted by what she had discovered, Sarah made her way back to the surface. The first rays of dawn were breaking over the horizon as she emerged from the asylum, the weight of its history heavy on her shoulders. She knew that the world needed to hear the truth, to know the horrors that had occurred within the asylum's walls. With a sense of purpose, Sarah returned to her car, her heart heavy, but her determination unshaken. She would expose the dark secrets of the St. Agnes Asylum and and ensure that the voices of the forgotten were finally heard. As she drove away from the forsaken place, the sun fully risen, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of closure for the tormented souls who had suffered within those decaying walls. The asylum may have been abandoned, but their stories would live on, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the enduring power of truth. And so, the secrets of the abandoned asylum were finally brought to light, a reminder that even in the darkest places, there is a glimmer of hope and the potential for redemption.